Marko here from Fair Realty, Victoria, BC, with your August 2025 real estate market update. I'm just getting over a really bad cold, so excuse me if I have to cough a couple of times during this video. Numbers here on the side of the screen, we had 525 sales in the month of August. This was the second lowest we've seen in the last 10 years. The only other lower year was 2022 at 478 years. That was the year interest rates shot up. It was like pouring ice on the market. However, if you look at some of these other Augusts, 979 sales, 2 Augusts over 800 sales, 2 Augusts over 700 sales. If you look at a 10-year average, we're well below the 10-year average. It was a slow August in terms of sales. The one number I want you to remember here is 741 sales in 2015. Next up, we're going to move over to new listings. We had 1,081 new listings come to market in August. This was a bit higher than last year. Last year we had 1,043, but within the 10-year average, so not much to talk about there. Let's right away move over to active listings or inventory. We finished the month with 3,600 active listings. This is the most we've seen in the last 10 years. You have to go back to 2015 when we had 3,688 active listings end of August. But remember how I said, remember the 741 sales in August of 2015. So even though we had 3,688 active listings in 2015, we had 741 sales. We had quite a few more sales than we had this year. So if you look at this year, 3,600 active listings divided by 525 sales, that is 7 months of inventory. That is a buyer's market. That is the highest months of inventory we've seen in a very, very long time, in more than 10 years. So what's happened to prices in this buyer's market? Single family home median, 1,137,500. It's the lowest we've seen in the last 6 months. Often in these videos, you'll hear me talk about noise from month to month. I don't think this is noise. I think at this point, there is some downward pressure in the single family home market. As of this morning, there were 83 single family homes listed in the Victoria core under $1 million. This number was as low as 6 at one point in 2021, late 2021 or early 2022. In the last few years, it's been trending kind of like 20 to 50 single family homes below 1 million. So 83 is not only a reflection of higher inventory, but also prices coming down. Homes that were maybe a couple of years ago $1,050,000 are now $975,000. So that number of single family homes under $1 million is building. More of those are selling, and that is pulling down the single family home median. The year-to-date single-family home median now is 1,170,000, and I think that number is going to continue to drop as we head towards the new year. Over to the condo single-family home median, 526,500. This is the lowest we've seen in the last 6 months. I've been saying for more than a year, there's downward price pressure on the condo market. It's being reflected in the numbers. Not only has the condo median dropped, people are also buying better condos and better stratas because there is so much inventory. There are options out there. People are not buying crappy condos and crap stratas. They're buying higher quality condos and better stratas and at a lower price point than before. So when you adjust for quality of condo, this median of 526,500 has actually come down even more. And you have to remember some of the other metrics, such as the home pricing index, they don't adjust for things like the quality of a strata. So what am I seeing on the ground? It's obviously a buyer's market. Right now I have 15 or 16 listings. I have a couple of single family home listings that need a bit of work. On one of them, we had 21 showings, and 16 or 17 real estate agents have provided feedback of our client is not interested, too much work for my client. 2-3 years ago, people would have bought these places and put in the work. But guess what? Now buyers with inventory this high and sales so slow, there's no urgency, there's options. People have better options. Unless the home is a 8 out of 10 or higher, or if it's a 5 out of 10 and exceptionally well priced, people are going to pass on homes that are not exceptionally well priced or are not an 8 out of 10 because it's a buyer's market. So if you don't have an 8 out of 10, you really have to price well. Let me put this into perspective. 3,600 listings, 525 sold. That means 6 out of 7 sellers that were on the market for all of August did not sell. Buyers are going to look at a bunch of properties because there is no urgency. And then when they find the one where they see the best value, they're going to make a low offer on that. If you have something that's not priced well, buyers for the most part are not going to lowball you. They're going to lowball the best price listing, not something that's priced middle of the road. At the same time, I took a look at housing starts in Victoria. You can find us by Googling BC housing starts. It gives you a breakdown of housing starts across British Columbia. The PDF is updated once a month. And for the month of July in Greater Victoria, there were 627 housing starts. Out of those 627 housing starts, only 21 were single-family homes, or 3.3%. The remainder would be apartments that are being built, purpose-built rentals, townhomes, condos. You also have to keep in mind, on a regular basis, there are single-family homes being torn down to be replaced with multifamily multiplexes. So long story short, the overall inventory of single-family homes is going to start dropping. Why am I bringing this up? As I noted earlier in the video, it's a tough real estate market now. There's 83 single-family homes priced below $1 million. There's lots of choice. Don't be fooled. This is not going to last. With only 3.3% of new construction being single-family homes on the flip side being torn down to make room for multifamily, as we go forward, the overall availability of single-family homes is going to drop. But guess what? The vast majority of my clients want a single-family home. So I think, given the market softness, if you're able to afford it, and you want to live in a single-family home long-term, right now is not a bad time to be looking, in my opinion. Prices have come down a bit. Interest rates have come down a bit in the last couple of years. Looks like we might get another interest rate cut this fall, maybe in September, or maybe at a later meeting this year. But I would, if I was looking for a single-family home, I would not leave it 5-10 years. You know, right now, I have clients buying a nice single-family home in the core. We have an accepted offer for $875,000, totally livable. Sure, you can never time the bottom of the market. That home might drop next year to $850,000, might even drop down to $825,000. But I'm very convinced, given that we're building essentially no single-family homes, in 10 years, that home is going to be well over $1 million because there will have been no single-family homes built, and there will have been a bunch of single-family homes torn down to make way for multiplexes. Same with condos. I represented a buyer on a condo purchase downtown Victoria recently for $425,000. This unit 3 years ago was over $550,000. My client got it for $425,000. Charred building, air conditioning, facing south, over 600 square feet. Really good value downtown, and a lot of condos. But once again, I have other buyers looking downtown, but because there are options, they can't decide, you know, because they're trying to time the bottom. Well, the only way they're going to know it's the bottom is when prices start going up. So in conclusion, if you want to sell right now, you got a sharp really price. If you're a buyer, specifically if you're looking for a single-family home, take a look at the housing starts in Victoria and how few single-family homes are being built. If you can afford it, right now is not a bad time to be looking at a single-family home, because I think long-term, with essentially no single-family homes being built, they're going to become out of reach out of a greater percentage of the population. The single-family homes in Victoria are out of reach for the majority of the population right now. But in 10, 20 years, single-family homes are going to be for the top 5%, for the top 2%. So if you can afford it right now, prices are down a bit. You can negotiate. You can do your due diligence in terms of inspections, etc. Not a bad time to be looking. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras, Fair Realty.